Hello. Today I want to talk about habits. Habits are either going to help you become the best version of yourself or they're going to help you absolutely destroy yourself and everything in between. So they obviously have an important role in our lives. So my question to you is, what role are habits playing in your life? Right? I'm going to give you some information here on the positive side of habits. So we'll focus on that. And let's start off with 3 quotes from a great book on habits called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Great book, highly recommend it. So the quotes are, quote number 1, focus not on what you want to achieve, but on who you wish to become. Quote number 2, habits have the ability to change your beliefs about yourself. And quote number 3, habits aren't about having something, they're about becoming someone. So what's the common theme here? Identity. Who do I wish to become? Right? This is a stronger driving force in establishing new habits. Is first developing clarity on who you wish to become. Let that be the fuel behind these habits, is first identifying who do I want to become. So a great important first step James Clear is hinting at right there. All right, I'm going to give you a template that he gives, which in much more detail in his book. Find the time to read it. I highly recommend it. But the template is 1, make it obvious. 2, make it attractive. 3, make it easy. 4, make it satisfying. And what are the ingredients about those 4 steps? Time and location, right? If you establish a time, establish a location for these goals, there'll be less friction to get started when you have those things set. So set those things. Next is pairing that new goal with an action you already do regularly. So it serves as a cue. When I do this, I'm also going to do this. Now, as I always remember to do this, that's an established habit. I'm going to add this to it. Important. One more tip there. Another one is prime the environment. Reduce the amount of steps between you and that new habit, right? The friction. If your mentality is, well, everything's got to be right. If this is this, then I'll go. No. You're already off to a bad start. The least amount of steps in between, the more likely that you're going to keep up with that new habit you're trying to establish. And lastly, reward yourself. You hit this goal for 7, you hit this habit again and again for 7 days, reward yourself. Okay, now so that's James Clear. Now let's talk about Napoleon Hill's advice, and what he calls the voluntary establishment of a habit. And he has a 3-step process, or 3 keys to establishing this voluntary habit, right? So the first one is plasticity. And plasticity reminded me of Carol Dweck's book on mindset. This difference between being growth-minded and being fixed-minded, right? So the growth-minded person it welcomes change. And this is what plasticity refers to in Napoleon Hill's advice here, is the ability to change. Having the willpower to change. And why is that important? Because change sucks. Change is difficult for all of us. And the only constant in life is change. Things are always changing, right? So we have to make comfort with the discomfort of change, right? So very important there, plasticity. Second one is frequency of impressions. How often are you practicing this habit? Another common knowledge in books about habits is 21 days is a key number of establishing and cementing a new habit. Every 21 days of practicing this habit, the neuron connections that are establishing from this new habit go from dirt road to 1-lane highway, right? To 2-lane highway, to 3-lane highway, to 4-lane highway, for every 21 days of you establishing this connection, this new habit, right? So that is an analogy of what's happening there, a visual, right? So the third and final one is intensity of impression. With what kind of intensity are you approaching this habit? With what kind of intensity are you committing to this habit, right? If you miss it once, don't miss it twice, right? I have this habit of reading 40 minutes before I head off to work in the mornings, right? And sometimes I miss the habit because I stayed up late or I was doing something late, so I didn't sleep as well. But even though I wake up a little late and disoriented, okay, let me at least get 10 minutes of reading, right? Like, the intensity doesn't allow me to slack off too much, and that's what the intensity is needed, right? So intensity of impression. All right. I hope you found some value in this. I'm genuinely interested in adding value to others. That's why I do these videos. I hope you like them. And once again, what role are habits playing in your life? Thank you.